governor. Let's go to Kurunu. It is Vox Pop. And what are they saying about the political leadership and the boys on rampage? As these ones engage in desperate measures to survive, they wonder why they are the casualties of leadership failure in Nigeria.
Government to provide job. There's nothing we want except that when you have job, you have money to spend.
Because there's no job outside there. We don't have job. Many of us went to school and school went through us.
They are used by politicians for election purposes. Some of them are dumped when victory is won, left to continue their street activities. Some are in prison.
Ebi nkwawa gidi ẹ ma wo tara mi ìdìbò ni ẹ ma wo tara mi ẹ ma wo ìdìbò ni o tara mi rí ìdìbò lele yìí inú ìdìbò ni ore ẹ ma ya inú ìdìbò ni ẹ wo inú ìdìbò ni.
When the time of elections comes, the politician will come over, they will come here, they will talk to these people, they will use them. After the election, they will not do anything for them. And now, you can see them circling around here. What are they doing? Smoking Indian herbs. And the teacher normally came here when it's time of election. They will promise people that they will do this and that. They promise many ladies here that they will open their shop for them. They promise them that they will give them money to establish their business. But immediately they get to the power, we don't see any traces of their promise.
Governor himself knows that people were smoking all around. But they will only make use of them. That was when they were in need of them. After making use of them with all the promises, and they won't fulfill.
It's about your state. It's about blood. And it's about the governor elected to serve the welfare and the security of the people. Femi Peters is here, and the radio man is here. Are you there? Say hello to the radio man. 080-915-51055. 080-569-98678. 070-694-93000. Hello. The radio man is here. Is the governor here? Good morning.
Hello. Good morning, Mr. Edmund Obilo.
Good morning.
But my name is Victor.
Good to hear your voice.
My name is Victor.
Go ahead and make your point.
Okay, my point is this. All these things that are doing in your state, you know that this one now is not about the party issue. But so people will be saying that they are condemning APC, they are condemning APC. This is like something that is not about the party, but it's about the governors. Because you can't tell me that in a state like this, because I've seen the Wolo before, when I'm learning market, Wolo that is very close to our governor's office. No security there. I was there, no security. Before the security comes, they have gone, they have, how would I put it? In fact, they are finished before they do what they are doing. Before the security comes. So in this issue now, it's about security issue. Let's imagine don't know what is doing in other states. Let him more. Because now you want to special need more force, not police.
All right, thank you.
More force, sponsor.
Thank you. He wants Makinde to do more. Good morning.
Edmund, good morning.
Chigozie is here.
Hello.
I can hear you.
Good morning, Edmund.
I can hear you. Can you hear me? All right, try again.
Hello, good morning,
08091551055. Good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, this is Akimbolu Shiri.
All right, Akimbolu Shire is here.
Yeah. Let me advise Mr. Governor on this one. He's doing a very good job in the state. But I think he should call a dialogue with the police force in the state. Don't be NSAC period. Mr. Governor did something that the police will not appeal about. I'm only saying this on my own personal opinion. The police were not happy with what Shimagide did that time. And I believe they have made the rule for themselves that whenever there's crisis in another state, no policemen to show up. Because when you lose your life, you are dying for yourself. And your family will be the one to suffer for it. That was the reason why when there was crisis in that road, police were there, but they were unable to do anything. Because if they lose their life, who will be taking care of their family? So I think Governor Shimagide should call the dialogue with the police for the State. Appeal to them. Let him appeal to them. You know what I'm saying? I think that is the way forward, because this security in the State is better going forward by the day. Thank you.
Thank you. Akimbolu Shire has spoken. Hello.
Hello, good morning, sir.
Good morning. Chigozie is here.
Hello.
Chigozie, I can hear you. All right. It's about Makinde. It's about insecurity in your state. Hello.
Good morning, Edmund.
Good morning.
Yeah, my name is James.
All right. All right, James.
Yeah. Well, there is no aspect of that society that it is not the chief executive officer of that state that is responsible. So whether Shimagide is doing well or not, the security situation in Oyo State is getting worse. And if whatever he's doing, which of course only those who see it, if that security aspect is not taken care of, absolutely nothing. Because we also complain about the president. He is also claiming that he's doing infrastructure around the country. But insecurity, people are dying. Because the first responsibility of the state, according to Thomas Hobbes and John Locke, and all the social contrarians, is that of security of life and property. And if that is not done, which is the preservation of life, if that is not done, then there is nothing any governor or any president is doing. There is nothing any leader is doing. You must secure the life of your people. You must secure their property. And if that is not done, and absolutely nothing you are doing. You are not building for animals.
Thank you.
Not building for anything except for human beings. Thank you.
Thank you. As Makinde promises to sanitize the area behind the Iwo Road where courties congregate, and as Makinde looks to review the park management system, let no one pretend that Makinde is the only prominent culprit. The pain we see today is the result of years of poor governance that PDP and APC represent. The thought was that Makinde would learn from the past and establish himself as a beacon of the future. But from his appointment of auxiliary and his fight with Fayose, he paints himself as a man in the past. Remember, those consumed by the past cannot save youths from themselves. I wait for Makinde to prove this wrong. Hello, the lines are open. Good morning.
Hello?
Good morning.
Hello, good morning, Mr. Edmund. This is Masade Oluwagi Peter.
Good to hear you.
I've been telling people, and sometimes many people don't understand. When it comes to security in the nation, we have responsibility for every government. But it's quite unfortunate. We are not putting more pressure on these governors. Everybody is just talking about federal government, everybody is just talking about Buhari. These are federal government, these are state governors that collect billions of naira every month for security votes. How do they spend it? Last week I was asking you, where are the armor personnel carrier stationed at different locations in the past? The governor is asking for permission to buy K-47. They will not give him that. Is it not the same governors that pocket local government, pocket state House of Assembly, pocket money of state judiciary, pocket state electoral commission? They can't give them. Are you getting what I'm trying to say? Let the government, any government that wants to be giving us silly excuses that they don't control Nigerian police, let's amend the constitution. Let the security vote go to the commissioner of police of this state, so we can know who we are going to vote responsibly. I heard that there were security personnel in the room. They were watching. Nothing was done. Was it Buhari that gave the order not to intervene? I was telling people the other day, is it Buhari that will take more time to intervene for crying out loud? You know, it is a tradition of the Fulani. When they have been attacked, they will go back, mobilize themselves, and come back for retaliation. And the chief commander of Amatepu said he had an intelligence that foreign orders are in our forest. And all the governors of Southwest, they are missing, they couldn't do anything. Now, let me ask you, Mr. Edmund, it's quite unfortunate. The Polytechnic in Shaki, or the one in Irua. Now, what mayors have they taken, or Akunda in those states? What mayors have they taken to position security agencies there? So until kidnappers strike again, then everybody will be shouting about Buhari. Does Buhari even know where Shaki is for me of Buhari? What is the responsibility of this government? If they are not responsible, let's give Commissioner of Police Security votes. A government cannot be collecting billions of naira every month, and I will be telling us the security does not belong to him. It doesn't control Nigerian police. I want to say, please, I'm sorry. Let me just make this statement. Let this statement, please. I've been in about 2003. I know how Ibadan was before. I know how it is now. I want to advise the governor. Let him go and revisit the template of the legislature, the security template of the legislature. Let him go and revisit it. I want to, please, I'm making this appeal to him. We can't sleep in our heads every night.
All right.
Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you. Thank you. Yes. Haven't created the PMS system for sanity at motor parks. Shea Makinde finds himself in the haze of destructions unfolding before his eyes. Fingers point at members of the system he created, and mouths speak of the reenactment of the tradition of violence associated with the activities of the proscribed National Union of Road Transport Workers. Makinde appoints a former state chairman of the NURTW, Mukaila Lamidi, as the chairman of the disciplinary committee of the PMS. But as events unfold, the PMS reveals itself as NURTW in disguise. The methods of operation are almost the same, and nothing has really changed, except that Makinde pretends about this. Femi Peters is here. He's a security expert. Ibadan has become a land of violence again. How do we explain it?
Well, good morning, listeners, and it's good to be here again after quite a while. It beats me hollow. I don't know what's happening, to be honest with you. But then, obviously, there's a missing link somewhere. If the government, the chief security officer for this state or your state, and his team, if they had been scratching the surface, the time is ripe now to go back to the trenches. Go back to the drawing board. Revisit your state security architecture. Because to all intents and purposes, it's failing. And we won't wait for it to fail, totally.
In a world, they said they were policemen, security men, but they refused to act. How do you explain that?
Well, it's abnormal. But one of the callers said, made mention of what happened during the NSAS imbroglio last year. And the general feeling in the polity is that Shea Makinde, GSM, would rather superimpose an agency that's supposed to be a complementary agency over the primary law enforcement first responder. That's the police.
What agency are you talking about?
Now, we have Operation Bust. The union thing is unofficial, but that's another thing entirely. But they cannot be taken out of the equation because with the melting point, you have all these issues, coming together, conflicting issues, conflicting priorities. And it's getting too bad, for your state. For the polity as well, because we see these things every day. Even if I'm out of town, I'm abroad and stuff like that. And people complain about lack of security. The government is not doing much and stuff like that. And what I can imagine is this. The government has in its team, security team, first class, escorts.
What makes them first class when we cannot be protected, Mr. Femi Peters?
That's a very valid question. And then that's the missing link. That's what I don't understand. Because Owoshini, the SA security, was a super cop.
Yet we cannot sleep.
In Lagos with good track record. Executive assistant security. Is there any policeman
with good track record in a country of violence?
But it's difficult to say. I wouldn't use a wide sweeping statement to taint every. By and large, the image of the police in Nigeria it's terrible. We all know that.
Can we say the police in Oyo State is sabotaging Makinde?
It's difficult without evidence to say that. But
they said policemen were on ground. They refused to. How do you explain that?
That's a valid question.
Is that not abdication of responsibility?
No, I wouldn't go that far. You have to look at the relationship between the executive, the government, and the police.
Is it about Sheyi Makinde or the protection of the people?
No, it's not about the governor, and it's not about his government. But then it's about the protection of Oyo indigents, business people, artisans. Are you with me? And property as well. It's getting out of hand. And I pray and hope the government and the security team will revisit the security architecture for Oyo State. By and large, it's failing. And I pray and hope that security issues will not be an albatross to his government.
As I wait, I am reminded that the gangs and boys on rampage in Ibadan are not taking to heart the warnings and threats by the governor. How can they, when on Thursday and Friday, rival gangs from Inolonde and Abebi areas engaged in dangerous clashes, lasting for hours and days? The Nigerian Tribune reports that on Friday, about 11 persons were killed, in addition to those killed on Thursday. Why?
It's a misnomer. It's difficult to pinpoint. But then again, like I said, and I will reiterate that again, the government needs to go back to the drawing board. Call the police.
Where's the board?
Call the police management. Call the security, apparatuses in Oyo State. Sit down on a round table. Where is the missing link? Where did we get it wrong? Otherwise, if they're playing the ostrich, believe you me, things may get worse.
Let's listen to this vox pop again. Perhaps we will know how they contributed to the violence that the system has become.
That's true.
As these ones engage in desperate measures to survive, they wonder why they are the casualties of leadership failure in Nigeria.
Government should provide job. There's nothing we want except that when you have job you do, you will have money to spend.
Because there's no job outside there. We don't have job. Many of us went to school and school went through us.
They are used by politicians for election purposes. Some of them are dumped when victory is won, left to continue their street activities. Some are in prison.
Ebi ń pa wá gidi ẹ máa wo tara mi ìdìbò ni ẹ máa wo tara mi ẹ máa wo ìdìbò ni ó tara mi rí ìdìbò lélẹ̀ yìí inú ìdìbò ni òòrè ẹ máa yá inú ìdìbò ni ẹ wo
When the time of elections comes, the politician will come over, they will come here, they will talk to these people, they will use them. After the election, they will not do anything for them. And now, you can see them stacking around here. What are they doing? Smoking Indian herbs.
And the teacher normally came here when it's time of election. They will promise people that they will do this and that. They promise many ladies here that they will open their shop for them. They promise them that they will give them money to establish their business. But immediately they get to the power, you don't see any traces of their promise.
Governor himself knows that people were smoking all around. But they will only make use of them. That was when we were in need of them. After making use of them with all the promises, and they won't fulfill.
State Affairs with Edmund Obilo is live.
Mr. Femi Peters Afolabi is a security expert. How do you explain the opinion of the young boys in that insert?
Well, it's quite unfortunate. Things have gotten to this level.
Everything appears to be unfortunate.
Oh, yeah, without being nipped in the bud. I would have thought that, the security team would have been more proactive, because that's one key essence of good security. Let me quickly take an instance. What happened in Ibadan, the reprisal attack? When Igbowo stormed Igogo, the onslaught, I always knew that there was going to be a reprisal. It's a Fulani way of life, a reprisal attack. But then, I wouldn't know what went wrong. The security team or the strategy seemed to let his guard down and was caught unawares. It shouldn't have happened, because after Sunday's Igbowo's onslaught, security state of preparedness should have been upped in anticipation of a reprisal attack. And that's, strategic planning. Even if it didn't come, you have planned, you have put things in place, and that would have saved limbs, property being destroyed, and indeed lives.
Are we even looking at capacity? Do we have the capacity to protect ourselves?
Well, we do, but then again, it depends on which trajectory the state government goes. I said it earlier. There's no way you can work effectively without the primary law enforcement agency, the police.
But the police isn't effective.
Well, the police may not be. Listen,
because we can see the national insecurity. It's not just for your state. It is national.
It is. It's nationwide. But then again, we're looking at the basics here. We're looking at Oyo State without expanding, because Buhari has his problems. National banditry, kidnapping, and when that infuses into what is happening in Oyo State, it makes it even more difficult, inexplicable for Seyi Makinde as governor of the state to say, look, I take responsibility. And people will say, you take responsibility each time, but let's see you act. Put a stop to this rot. And I hope he's listening to me, or his handlers are listening to me. You need to put a rot. You need to work with the police, as bad as they may be.
What about if the police don't want to work with him?
Well, that is the point. That is a good point. They have to come to a round table, because without the police...
Who owns the police?
The people own the police.
So why would the police stand by and watch the people perish?
Well, it's It's not a good omen. It's not a good omen. I wouldn't know whether the police did that in the instance of your state, a War Road, incident. But then I've had it through the grapevine. Sometimes the police, just emergency call and stuff like that for them to respond immediately after the NSAS situation. It's more or less like, look, you guys, you're your own. You didn't want the police, and I keep saying it. Oftentimes
they should drop their guns and leave the police.
Well, that does not apply to your state alone. It's a nationwide thing, and that's why we've been crying for state policing. You have to strengthen local government, security in local government. But that's the grassroots. If you don't look after the grassroots, that's going to come to the urban, environment.
Mr. Femi Peters, we'll talk more after this break. Don't go away. The program is State Affairs.
That's great.
State Affairs with Edmund Obilo is live.
Splash FM 105.5.
Guy, you don't see that new funny video for Twitter? That one with the boy.
You mean this one?
What of that brother Shaggy News Kitty? Where they circulate WhatsApp?
Oh, this one.
What of that meme? Where the guy?
When mouth open like this, bar.
Mr. Know It All. Which data you they use know all these things?
Now, Glow new data plans get me.
Are you serious?
With just 50 naira, and they get 50 MB. And with just 100 naira, and they get 150 MB. We have to use chat or browse on top Facebook, WhatsApp, Twitter, and even Snapchat. Don't dull yourself, oh. Dial star 777 hash now. Make you begin the browse, they go.
Glow Unlimited.
láti ní ojúlówó mọ̀ tó nílò tó fi darapọ̀ mọ́ṣẹ́ ìgbóhùnsáfẹ́fẹ́ tó sì dakọ́ṣẹ́ mọṣẹ́ tí mùṣemúṣe ẹ̀dá múṣẹ́ yàtọ̀. Splash FM Media Academy ti pèsè ìdánilẹ́kọ̀ọ́ tó gàgàǹgbá fún gbogbo ẹni tó nífẹ̀ẹ́ láti dojúlówó agbóhùnsáfẹ́fẹ́ tàbí ẹni tó fẹ́ fìmọ̀ kúmọ̀ nídìí iṣẹ́ ìgbóhùnsáfẹ́fẹ́ tẹ́sí gbàwé ẹ̀rí mo yege. Àwọn ìdánilẹ́kọ̀ọ́ Splash FM Media Academy dá lórí Introduction to Presentation, Program and Content Development, Journalism, Basic Production, Digital Media, Yorùbá Presentation, tó ń tì ìtọ́sọ́nà lórí iṣẹ́ wọn ni pẹ̀lú àwọn gbajúgbajà agbóhùnsáfẹ́fẹ́. Fún ìforúkọsílẹ̀ àti ẹ̀kúnrẹ́rẹ́ àlàyé ẹ lọ sí Splash FM Media Academy tó wà lẹ́gbẹ̀ẹ́ White House Fẹ́lẹ́lẹ̀ Ìbàdàn tàbí kẹ́ ẹ kàn sójú òpó ìtàkùn àgbáyé wa pẹ̀lú www.splashfm1055.com/academy 0705-439-3332 tàbí 0805-699-8676. ẹ sì lè kàn sórí Facebook àti Instagram wa @Splash FM Media Academy. Mú àlá rẹ ṣẹ láti dojúlówó agbóhùnsáfẹ́fẹ́ lónìí. Splash FM Media Academy à ń fọmọlúwàbí ṣe iṣẹ́ ìgbóhùnsáfẹ́fẹ́ lọ́jọ́.
Enter the place and it brighten. Make everybody they wonder. Waiting they cause all the shine. Lush hair, lush hair. Long hair or short doesn't matter. Crochet or dreadlocks can be better. Only for girls we know better. Lush hair, lush hair. So you want to slay? Slay with swag. Gotta be lush hair. Gotta be lush hair. Straight or curly. You know they tango. Lie. Gotta be lush hair. Gotta be lush hair. You wonder how I shine like this. I'm on a lush hair, be the coco. Say you want to know. And if you wanna be fine like me, I can show you where to go. A lush hair, be the coco.
Beautiful people know how to make an impression, and that's why they only trust Lush Hair Extensions to bring out the shine in them. Lush Hair, be beautiful.
Do you need a fully furnished, nice and comfortable hostel accommodation in University of Ibadan? Or a place for seminars and executive trainings at the same venue? You do not have to worry. Adebayo Akonde Hall suits your lodging needs and provides you a home away from home. Adebayo Akonde Hall is a 4-star hostel built in a serene environment with constant supply of electricity. It has fully furnished rooms that gives you great comfort at an affordable price. Adebayo Akonde Hall is located at Ajibode Extension, University of Ibadan. To make reservations, visit www.adebayohall.com or call the numbers 0805-699-8718, 0805-699-8719, 0805-699-8720. Adebayo Akonde Hall. Built for comfort. built for you.
What is this? I thought I asked all of you to drop whatever you have outside there.
I'm sorry, sir. This is Fluco Day. I saw you coughing earlier, so I brought it out for you so you can take it.
Thanks for your kindness, but I'm smarter than that. You think I don't know that every drug that cures cough and catarrh causes drowsiness? So you want me to sleep, Abi?
This is what distinguishes Fluco Day. It does not cause drowsiness.
Nah, drug. I know this drug. It work well. No?
Let me try it. Manufactured by Harvit.
Marketed and distributed by Pharmatex Nigeria Limited. If symptoms persist after 2 days, consult your doctor.
Time up. And you, I said what? Flu.
Fluco Day!
Available in pharmacy shops near you.
Every pikin love healthy current drink. Every time, everywhere. Our choice. For them grown-ups, choose better sweet yogurt. Yummy creamy yogurt. Probiotics healthy yogurt. Bobo na that fine better pikin drink. We get plenty vitamins and minerals to make our pikins them they sharp, bright, fine and healthy. It get different flavors and they available for shops nationwide. Yogo yogurt, na that sweet, fine, better, yummy, tasty, creamy yogurt where they make specially for you with plenty vitamins and minerals plus ogbonge probiotics for your good health. It get different flavors and they available everywhere nationwide. Them be product of Bobo Fruits and Beverages.
láti ní ojúlówó mọ̀ tó nílò tó fi darapọ̀ mọ́ṣẹ́ gbóhùnsáfẹ́fẹ́ tó sì dakọ́ṣẹ́ mọṣẹ́ tí mùṣemúṣẹ́ dámúṣẹ́ yàtọ̀. Splash FM Media Academy ti pèsè ìdánilẹ́kọ̀ọ́ tó gàgàǹgbá fún gbogbo ẹni tó nífẹ̀ẹ́ láti dojúlówó agbóhùnsáfẹ́fẹ́ tàbí ẹni tó fẹ́ fìmọ̀ kúmọ̀ nídìí iṣẹ́ gbóhùnsáfẹ́fẹ́ tẹ́sí gbàwé ẹ̀rí mo yege. Àwọn ìdánilẹ́kọ̀ọ́ Splash FM Media Academy dá lórí Introduction to Presentation, Program and Content Development, Journalism, Basic Production, Digital Media, Yorùbá Presentation, tó ń ti ìtọ́sọ́nà lórí ìṣẹ́yọni pẹ̀lú àwọn gbajúgbajà agbóhùnsáfẹ́fẹ́. Fún ìforúkọsílẹ̀ àti ẹ̀kúnrẹ́rẹ́ àlàyé ẹ lọ sí Splash FM Media Academy tó wà lẹ́gbẹ̀ẹ́ White House Fẹ́lẹ́lẹ̀ Ìbàdàn tàbí kẹ́ ẹ kàn sójú òpó ìtàkùn àgbáyé wa pẹ̀lú www.splashfm1055.com/academy 0705-439-3332 tàbí 0805-699-8676. ẹ sì lè kàn sórí Facebook àti Instagram wa @Splash FM Media Academy. Mú àlá rẹ ṣẹ láti dojúlówó agbóhùnsáfẹ́fẹ́ lónìí. Splash FM Media Academy. À ń fọmọlúwàbí ṣe iṣẹ́ ìgbóhùnsáfẹ́fẹ́ lọ́jọ́.
Splash FM 105.5.
State Affairs with Edmund Obilo is live.
Mr. Femi Peters, we have watched the video of a scene in Iwo Road. You could see the crowd of gangsters coming, few policemen. Is that why they did not act? That surging crowd of gangsters.
I saw the video clip, and my take was, and still is, that was a terrible scenario. You have fewer policemen there, law enforcement officers there, and I doubt if they could have done anything much more than what they did. The mob was advancing, raging mob, advancing menacingly. Nobody would have done that, even in uniform, because they were overwhelmed obviously. And whoever determined the number, size of law enforcement responders to that scene, I wouldn't know what they did. I would, liken it to what happened during Capitol, during the invasion of the Capitol, Hill in America. Like, you saw the policemen, they were overwhelmed by this mob. And when you have a ravaging mob like that advancing, even though you're in uniform, you have your AK-47, you have extra rounds. Believe you me, discretion must apply.
Discretion must apply.
Yeah.
Let's look at this. It's about insecurity in your state. Asiwo Road boys, gangs take on themselves, and armed robbers are on free rides in Ibadan communities. On Thursday, I received another message calling on me to raise alarm over the havoc criminals are wreaking in Olive, Morayo Oremeji, Balogun area. Also disturbed Akwality and Omotara, all between Bodija and Agbo. It is citizens soaked in fear. They are tales of helplessness, criminals on rampage, breaking into houses, killing people, stealing their money, broad daylight, sometimes at night. Where do we go from here?
Well, it's so sad it's gotten to this level. I can only appeal to the government, to the chief security officer, of this state. Please listen to your security experts, retired and serving security experts. In such situations, you have interference from extraneous political angles for their own selfish interests, not about the state, not about the security. I would appeal to GSM, listen more to your team, because that's what they trained to do. And if you enable them, they will do much better. You have to reconcile. Even if at all there's been a problem with the state command, the law enforcement in the state, you have to get them to a table. You have to talk. You have to judge, because things are getting out of hand. And at the end of the day, when election time comes, people will not say, "Oh, the police refused to work."
But I see Sheyema can with the police. He visits them. He partners them. I see the pictures. He gives them vehicles.
But we wouldn't know.
Why are we appealing to police as if we don't have a right?
We don't know. We don't know underlying current.
As if they're
underlying. I know what you're saying. But then again, let me ask you, Ed. GSM is captain of the ship, and the buck stops at his table.
The commissioner of police, is she active enough?
Well, if she's not active enough, then that's the job of the chief security officer to have a rapport with her that, look, these things are getting out of hand. And what do? I have my own problems. Insecurity is part of it, sure, but I'm not going to go to the street and get these things done. So you have to go back to that architecture, overhaul what is happening, because obviously it was failing, but it has now failed. The time is now.
I got a message from Dayo George. Let's read the message. He sent this message to me on Instagram. He says, "Hello, sir. How can I reach you directly? My friend was murdered on Thursday, 10th June at 2 a.m. around Ojo area. He was shot but was holding on to his life for 3 hours. The hospitals he was taken to did a little. Some rejected him. Finally, one accepted him. But by this time, it was already late. My friend was supposed to get married next week, Saturday, 19th June. That's today. He was supposed to graduate from the Polytechnic Ibadan in months' time. He did nothing wrong. He would have still been alive if hospitals treated him first before asking for police reports. All I seek for is justice, and to take these words to the street and government that we need a system that will keep us alive, not kill when we can still survive. A message sent to me by Dio George. Dio George is here. How do you feel? Your friend was buried yesterday.
Yes.
What happened? Tell me the story.
Okay. My friend Ebenezer Ayeni, that's his name, and he was very close to me, very, very close. Well, it happened on Thursday. Well, Wednesday, the night before that Thursday, we were chatting. You know, we were talking about his wedding plans around 1 a.m. because he's my friend, so I know he can forget things. So we were talking and talking. I was asking him, okay, where do you want to have your honeymoon? He said, my brother, I'll do it in my house. I'm not going to take a hotel. And that was the joke of the chat. And then the next morning, I heard the news that he was dead. When I got to school department, everybody were crying. The lecturers and students were crying. How come? I spoke with this guy. How come? Well, he was in his house that day with his brother and his mom. His older brother was sleeping on the sofa in the sitting room while he was sleeping on a mattress laid on the rug. And according to the story that his brother told me, he said all of a sudden he heard a bang on the door. They broke in. And then the first thing they did was they used their machete to cut my friend on his shoulder. So he jumped up and ran to his brother. And his brother too was saying, oh, please, what do you want? What do you want? Please, please, please. And they started macheting him too. First here on his face, another on his lips. And then, of course, he was having a survival instinct at that point in time. So he was trying to run. There was no light, no NEPA. It was dark. So he was trying to run for his life, and then he ran out. And when he ran out, what he heard was 3 gunshots. Didn't know who was shot until he went inside.
After they've left?
Yes, sir. And then he found his brother in a pool of blood. He was shot twice on his stomach and one, I think, his thigh. And all he was confused, and his mom was screaming and all. They took their phones, their laptops, and funny enough, they took his clothes and even the attire that was supposed to use for his engagement yesterday. This morning. But the only thing his brother could do at that point was to seek for help. So he jumped the fence to the other house. That house has to be, the house is their landlord's house. So he jumped to the fence to seek for help. But
this time he was still bleeding.
He was bleeding.
His brother was in the pool of his blood.
Yes.
So what happened when he jumped the fence?
So he was asking for help for a car key just to drive his brother to the hospital. There was no phone to make call to anybody. So he got the key and he drove down to Jaja at UI. And when he got there, they were saying stories. They can't take him. And the only help they could render was that they would give them an ambulance and a nurse to lead them to Jirafa. And he was begging, please treat my brother, please treat my brother, please. They said they can only lead him to Jirafa. So, but the funny part is that the ambulance was ahead of his own, was the one driving his brother. The older brother was driving a car while he was trying to save his brother too.
Why was Ebenezer not put in the ambulance?
That is my question. That
So
an ambulance had to lead the victims. Why? Okay, they were leading them onto a hospital. Okay, no problem. And when they got to Jirafa was asking for a police report. It was begging. My brother is getting married next week Saturday. Please, we are siblings. Look at my face because we look alike. They said they needed police report. Okay. And they were told that they should go to the police around that area. And the police said, it's not in their own jurisdiction, that maybe they should go to where the thing happened. Just imagine that I was even thinking at that point in time, maybe there was something would have happened. And he was begging. So Jirafa could not take him. And he had to go to Ojo. They said there's a police residence around Orogun Ojo, I don't know.
Yeah.
So, and the only hospital around there is Oyemesi. And they took him there. Thank God that his brother knew one of the doctors. That was the only way they could take him and started a treatment on him.
By this time, hours were lost.
Yeah.
At this time, he was praying. His older brother was praying for him. That's, hold on to your life. You will make it. And there was no phone. So you had to put a call through one way or the other to someone that can reach other people that this is what is happening. At that point, they needed blood. And my friend was O negative. So there was no blood. And he tried his best. But when they could get someone to come down to the hospital, it was already too late. And my friend left.
He died.
He died.
Ebenezer Ayeni is dead.
He was a great man. He was so young. He's 29. He was 29 years old. He was supposed to get married today, this morning, and graduate in the next few months with us from music department, Polytechnic of Ibadan. He was a gospel musician, a music producer. But the problem is this: if UCH was not on strike that day, I heard they are still on strike. Well, I think something would have been done. The system would have been able to save him, even if we can only try.
You never can tell.
That's true.
Mr. Femi Peters Afolabi, he has told us a story.
That's a tragic one. And please, brother, accept my condolences. And, I pray such would not happen in your midst again, family, friends. It's a throwback to the kind of system we have. Let me quickly take the issue of, in an emergency, time is your enemy. You need to do things as very quickly as possible. And I hope the SVC of University of Ibadan, the immediate past Minister of Health, Professor Isaac Adewale, is a brother to me. And he was my client. I hope he's listening to this. Nigeria Medical Association, the federal government, something must be done about this. If this had happened abroad, even if you were a criminal, not alleged to one, you were caught with, with firearms and shooting other people, and you got shot, you know what they do? First, they save your life. They take you to the hospital. Somebody's going to stand over you. monitor you that you don't get out of the hospital. But first thing, even an alleged culprit, they save your life.
You know, sometimes I just want to get angry. You know, when we've been talking about police reports for years, even as a child,
and nobody's been able to do anything about it.
Why are we so stuck in what is wrong?
Well, that's another sad indictment, you know, of President Buhari's government.
Is it just about Buhari?
Oh well, if this has been changed at the central, it would have permeated, you know, the system, states, local government. That would be the order of the day.
I know how many stories I've covered on bullet wounds, and the same question is: no police report, we can't treat you.
It's a sad thing.
And you see victims dying.
Oh yeah, sure. And that even runs contrary to the Hippocratic oath, or what's it called?
That doctors take.
That doctors take. First and foremost, save a life. And then we now start asking for police. And I said it to a friend that it happened to not too long ago. He said it will get to a point one day, a saturating point, that such thing would happen. The patient would die. His family will revisit that hospital and burn it down.
Let's not get to that point.
It wouldn't. But then things do boil over when nobody seems to be doing anything positive about it. You said it yourself. This has been on for years. Something's going to change.
08091551055. Join the discussion. 08056998678. You can call 07069493000. You listen to the story told by Dio George. And Ebenezer is no more.
He's gone.
Hello. Good morning.
Commissioner Modagbe for UI.
Sadwe Modagbe.
I'm just taking a protest letter to the active catalog with what you are just narrated. It is a pity. I think even God will save life first to give more opportunity to see how human being will behave. But this country we find ourselves in a very detrimental angle. So it's a very pathetic that it has happened in the University of Ibadan. That's not too much.
The lines are open. What's the security situation around your area? Tell me. Hello. Hello, good morning.
Hello.
Yes, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Make your point, sir.
Hello.
I can hear you. All right, thank you. Hello.
Hello, good morning, Edmund.
Good morning.
My name is S.B. Abodun from Akwete. I think if need be, let them treat the person and chain him to the bed until the police report is provided. I think that is better than allowing people to die like that. That is one. Number two, I think the governor has to show the people that his body language tilts to the feeling of the ordinary people in the state, like it happened in Benue State. That even when the governor moved to another party, people still followed him. I think the body language has to be addressed. I'm sorry. I love the governor, but I'm not happy about what is happening.
Thank you. Thank you for calling the radio station. The lines are open.
Hello, good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Hello.
I can hear you. Good morning.
Good morning. From Ibadan.
All right, Glorious. Good to hear your voice.
Yes, sir. It is saddening the way the medical practitioner treats their patients. It happened to me in 2007 when my place was burgled. My younger brother was shot directly opposite my office.
there's an hospital there. They had the scenario. They knew about the scenario. They are aware of the scenario. They couldn't admit my younger brother until we got to UCH. Thank God they were not on strike. Thank God we were able to rescue him. Thank God he's still alive today. If not that, what will we be saying today? It could be the story of this same man. Then on the issue of Mr. Governor Sheyi Makinde, this is the high time for him to refer whatever agreements with the auxiliary. Give him another thing. Give him contracts. Compensate him in another form. Not to impose, and the other party would be doing or against this guy somehow. This is what will be happening. Let it be more organized than this. Then I don't know if I can chip in another thing.
Go ahead.
The rural or whatever, the men that they are planning to give to do ranches, yes, it is welcomed. But I want to advise, even on their transit, it shouldn't be the trekking one. They should not go with their cows. They should go through. They should put their this thing into these lorries. They can come through that. They should not go by land, by walking. The same thing will continue happening. Then on governors, there's this permutation we are trying to do. The governors came the other time to tell us that the fuel price should be increased to 398 naira. I believe this is conspiracy between them and Mr. Dangote, because the Dangote
don't take us too far. You are taking us out of the subject entirely.
Okay, I'm so sorry.
All right, Mr.
So that has been with me. So I just want to chip it in.
Thank you. Let's focus on the subject. Okay. Hello.
Hello. Good morning, Edmund.
Yes. Good morning.
This is Sabe. I'm calling from Monia.
Good to hear your voice.
To start the story about the timely death of this young, promising man. It has happened to many Nigerians. Negligence of the clinic hospital we have in Nigeria. The most important thing is it in the constitution, in the law, that when a patient gunshot is shot to your clinic. Well, I don't know what is the reason behind it. See, somebody dies. I will provide this panacea. Immediately any person with gunshot is rushed to your clinic or hospital. First, phone the police. There, the police will come and meet the patient, the victim, if he or she actually is a robber. At least through this method, many lives will be saved. It's very unfortunate. I made tears when that young man was explaining the ordeal. It's very, very unfortunate. This boy will have been alive. Today will have been one of the joyous days. But there he was, out of negligence, gone. Well, have a nice day.
Thank you, Mr. Abe. Dr. Festus Adedayo says, the way out is to begin to try runners of hospitals that reject such patients for murder. I think we have got to that point. That's what Dr. Adedayo is saying. But again, let's look at the question of armed robbers. What kind of armed robbers are they? Can't you just come and rob? Must you kill? And what did you take away? Laptops, clothes, and you killed somebody?
Well, they don't look at it that way. They don't look at it the way you and I look at it. Before going on operation, the modus operandi is this. They are high on something, on substances, and then they are not their normal selves. They have left here their senses, behind the dome. And then when they are on operation, they've got to be seen to be tough, real tough, violent, bloodletting.
These are the children we are bringing up now.
Oh, well, sure.
Because they are our children.
Oh, they are our children. And some of these guys were created by the society. The failures of the society, the failures of governance. End result. I'm not saying in all cases, but most of them. Some graduates, roam the streets, no job, No personal business. They're going to go to the banks to raise loan. You're not going to get a dime because they probably ask you to bring your late great-grandfather's, death certificate. The one that you weren't even born when he died about 60, 70 years ago. So how are you going to engage this youth if you don't engage them? That you're looking at, devil's workshop.
Dayo, you are a young man. How do you feel about the system?
The system is failing. And I think what makes a system of a country are the young people in that country.
That's true.
They don't care about us anymore. They don't.
Then care about yourself.
Let me say this. Last night, I had to sleep with knives. Because I think it's high time, I was telling some of my friends, I think it's high time we take it upon ourselves to learn some basic skills. That's like true. First aid, learn swimming, learn karate, whatever, for self-defense. Because it has gotten to that point that we need to save ourselves first. Because the system is dying. We can't run out of the country anymore. If you try to run, they will say this or that. If you try to talk, they will shut you down. So it's high time as a young person, and I'm saying this to all young people around the country, it is time to learn basic skills in medicine, in agric, in anything. That's the only way I think we can save ourselves.
Government cannot save you anymore.
They can't anymore. For now, they can't. We can only pray and hope.
See, let me quickly. We thought NSAS had gone. Post NSAS, what has the government done to revisit the root cause or root causes of NSAS? Not much. Nobody's first money or whatever, they're distributing and stuff like that. That's crap.
You can see
they ain't doing nothing.
Governors are threatening fire. Buhari is threatening fire. We will deal with them. We will kill them. Soldiers will move in. Police will shoot them. I'm asking, who do you want to shoot? Our sons. Yes. We brand them criminals.
Ed, let me. You're right. It reminds me of what one said. Someone said, you're a contributor to a platform that, look, the way things are going, Buhari's body language, there's going to be a second civil war. I said, there's not going to be a second civil war. I witnessed the first one, though I was about 10 years old or something like that. I said, there's not going to be, because the fundamentals have changed. The circumstances have changed. Who is going to line up or line behind a tribe, a major ethnic tribe, to fight the other one now? No. And then what the lie they used to sell then, you can't sell those lies anymore. One off. As people like Autumn, as the TVs, as the Barums, those were the people that lined up behind a major ethnic tribe to attack to wage war against the other one in the first civil war. That's not going to happen again. So who, like you said, who are you going to kill? Who are you going to fight? It's going to be counterproductive.
Let's listen to Wike. Bosun, play Wike. I want you to look at the language of a governor, and perhaps you then interpret the language and say, Wike is the governor. Yes, some Wike is the governor of Rivers State.
Did they not go down? Did they go down? So when people say IPOP, they are carrying juju. No problem. That's what you say. But what's happening? Are they not dying? So let nobody deceive you that juju. Don't ever you. So now, take today, all of you criminals who are here, all of you criminals who are here, take today, 2nd of June 2021, and repent. If you don't repent, the period has come. You will die. Your parents will not bury you. We will bury you like vulture. Either your hand will be cut off, or they will blow your head off. Your parents will not even know that you are dead. They will say, their son went to look for money. Which money? The man is gone. And you will not tell your parents that you are gone. Who tell them? Because an armed robber has no business for us to say he has parents. No. No armed robber has parents. No armed robber. So nobody should, because of what you are doing now, challenging people, destroying people, killing them. You go to Yubogo, you go here, you go to the water, bunkering, killing people, and you think you will go free. You will never go free. So, all of you looking at me as if you are my supporter, carry your support and go.
State Affairs with Edmund Obilo is live.
The youths are killing people, and Wike will kill them. Youths are killing people, Buhari will kill them. So it's now a killing field. They are all shooting at themselves. Mr. Peters, console me. I want to break down in tears.
Well, I wish I could do that, because I feel as much as you feel as well. There was a country. When we were growing up in this country, there was a country. There was law and order. Everything, was near perfect. But then again, what do we have now? Even if we had been stagnant, things would still have been better. But we were not stagnant. We were not progressing. We were regressing.
We just have to go.
At the speed of light. It's terrible.
Dio George. How is Ebenezer's brother? How is he now?
He's stressed. Because it was yesterday, we were still running up and down at the cemetery. That was another sad story. There's no more space at Sango Cemetery.
No space for the dead.
No space. They had to tell us, okay, when they took him to the embalming center, the mortuary, they paid a full package.